A woman can forget a face. She can even forget the exact words. But she never forgets how a man made her feel. And that feeling goes deeper than most men realize. It shapes attraction, trust, and heartbreak. So let's break down the psychology behind it. The one thing women never forget is this: how a man made them feel about themselves. Not his looks, not his money. It's the emotional mirror he held up. But here's the truth. A good man can make her feel chosen. A careless man can make her feel small. And the brain stores both feelings like scars. That's why simple moments can become unforgettable. Maybe he made her feel safe. Maybe he made her feel stupid for caring. Pay attention to this. The brain remembers emotion before detail. That's why the feeling lasts longer than the scene. She may forget what restaurant they picked, but she remembers feeling deeply seen there. Or she remembers feeling quietly dismissed. And that feeling keeps echoing long after goodbye. Sometimes one sentence can live for years because it changed how she saw herself. This is where it gets interesting. Emotional memories are stored with extra force. The body remembers too. A song, a scent, a text tone. Suddenly the whole feeling comes back. If he made her feel protected, she remembers warmth. If he embarrassed her, she remembers the drop in her stomach. Same heart, very different imprint. That's why closure is so hard. You're not fighting the person anymore. But here's the deeper layer. The brain tags people by emotional impact, not by perfect logic. So the fancy date may fade, but one honest moment can stay forever. Like when she admitted she was afraid, and he didn't turn away. That moment becomes part of her story, and stories are harder to forget than facts. Now let's go deeper. Women remember who a man becomes in vulnerable moments. When the mask drops, the truth shows. Is he gentle or cold? Does he protect her feelings or punish them? Pay attention to this. Vulnerability is a huge risk. She is handing you the raw version of herself. If he acts careless there, it cuts deep. Not because she is weak, because her nervous system marks it as danger. This is where it gets personal. If he meets pain with kindness, she remembers relief. Her body calms down around him. If he meets pain with distance, she remembers shame. And next time, she closes up faster. That one reaction can shape the whole relationship. Imagine she tells him bad news. He says, "We'll figure it out." She may remember that forever. Now let's talk about consistency, because mixed signals are unforgettable too. Hot and cold creates emotional whiplash, and the brain starts chasing clarity. But here's the truth. Consistency feels like safety. Inconsistency feels like rejection. Uncertainty can become addictive. One good moment keeps hope alive, so she keeps replaying everything. Not because she is dramatic, because the mind hates loose ends. Pay attention to this. Vague people leave strong memories. Clear people leave peace. That's the difference. He doesn't need to yell to wound her. He just needs to keep disappearing. And she never forgets how unstable that felt. Because unstable love teaches constant self-doubt. Next comes something even deeper. Women remember if a man truly saw them. Not the surface version, the real one underneath. This is where it gets interesting. To feel seen is powerful. It tells her, "I notice you." That hits the heart fast. Because most people only hear enough to answer, few people really pay attention. But here's the truth. Being seen feels like being valued. Being overlooked feels like being replaceable. That pain is quiet but strong. It makes her question herself. And that question can stick for years. Imagine she shares a private memory. He leans in and asks more. She feels known, not judged. That feeling becomes unforgettable fast. Now let's talk about conflict, because fights reveal emotional character. Anyone can be sweet in easy moments. Pressure shows who you really are. Pay attention to this. Women never forget what a man uses against them, especially if it was shared in trust. One cruel line can outlive 50 sweet ones, because betrayal burns hotter than affection. But respectful conflict does the opposite. It creates trust under stress. She learns she can stay open with him. This is where it gets personal. Maybe she says, "I'm scared you'll leave." He laughs and walks off. She won't forget that feeling. But if he stays and reassures her, that sticks too. Respect in conflict feels like emotional safety, and emotional safety is rare. Rare things are remembered longest. So what is the one thing, really? It is the emotional identity he gave her. Did she feel worthy with him? Or did she feel like she was never enough? But here's the truth. Love is remembered through feeling, not performance. Grand gestures can impress for a night, but emotional steadiness imprints for years. A great man reads what she doesn't say. He protects her dignity, not just her attention. He makes her feel safe to be real. A selfish man does the opposite. He teaches her to hide herself. Pay attention to this. The unforgettable man brings peace to her identity. The unforgettable wound does the reverse. That's why some people are hard to release. You are not just leaving a person. You are leaving the version of yourself they created. And that is what women never forget. In the end, memory follows emotion. The men who stay gentle become unforgettable. And the men who wound identity leave the deepest marks. If this hit home, leave your thoughts below and subscribe for more deep psychology like this.